13th Target Series race of the season heads to the World Center of Racing, where we kicked off the season. It is now the 13th race of the season. This is the Samsung 250 under the lights here at Daytona. Riley Sprode to be in the 9 on pole for tonight's race, beside in second the 25 of Eric Olson. Then in third place we have Sebastian Kukulon, fourth it is Code Red, and rank at the top 5, second in the point standings, Bronson Minnick. Starting in 6th we have Landon Lyons, winner of the last race, 2 wins this season. In 7th place it is Landon Dinkins, 8th place Casey Nanico, in 9th it's Michael Gregory, and Levi Schoens runs inside the top 5 in points. He starts 10th here tonight. Back behind the rest of the field, Trey Rainey, inside of him Jake Galway in the 20 car. Then there's Zachary DeLello and Jake Richardson in the 17. Then we have Evan Hunter and Denny Lloyd in the 10 car, with Jose Mills and Sebastian Dupain. Then we have Colin Teague and Taylor Bryan Price, Keyshawn Richardson and Adam McDowell. Then we have Roman Fenway and Tommy Fletcher Jr. in the 77. Luke Rainey comes in as our pointer, starts towards the back of the field. Inside of him, the 41 of Alex Fletcher. Then we have Jay Jefferson in the 1 car and the 8 of Eli Bright. Then there's Alex Turner and Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Jeff Bright the 5 and the 55 of Colton Yo. Jennifer Beaver, DJ Reed, John Smith and Justin Zidell, Mathis Wells, Madison Tall, Mason Baskers, Max Anderson, and rounding out the field, last season's champion starts 41st, and in 42nd, Anthony Hernandez in the 21 car. Trey, gonna get you in here, and this is a crazy race, a crazy racetrack here at Daytona. In the past, in this race, we have seen 4 wide wrecking at the front of the field. We've seen photo finishes, we've seen 3 wide photo finishes. What do you expect out of this race here tonight after what we've seen the past 2 restrictor plate races?
I expect madness to continue here, except, hopefully we don't get those lap car shenanigans like we did last race there at Pensacola. But, it's Daytona. Everyone wants to win here. If you win here, your name automatically goes up into the big time. So I think these guys are going to go all out to try to get the victory here.
And the theme of the last 2 races, lap traffic. We're hoping not to continue that for the 3rd and final Superspeedway race in a row here in the Target Series. Let's go on trackside to fire these engines up in the Samsung 250 here at Daytona. And it looks like 42 engines rolling off the starting grid here at Daytona to go racing at the World Center of Racing for the 2nd time this season. The first track we'll go to multiple times this season. Daytona, one of the biggest races on the schedule. The first race of the season, very, very competitive. We saw lead changes and pack racing. We'll see what happens here in the Samsung 250, which has normally been the crazier race of the 2 Daytona races in each season. Back a few seasons ago, the race series were 4 wide and wrecked in the first row as they were 4 wide. Then the next season, we saw another 4 wide accident at the front of the field collect more of our race series. Even before that, we saw 4 wide with our racer getting clipped but saving his race car. Jake always won here in a 3 wide photo finish before, and last season in this race, a photo finish, and by about 100th of a second, that was the margin of victory. So it's 15 laps in the Samsung 250. Riley Sprode to Eric Olson in the front row for the Samsung 250. They step on the gas, and we're going at Daytona. Green flag in the air.
As we enter turn 1 here, you can see Eric Olson on the outside actually got a pretty good start, was able to stay with Riley Sprode here for majority of the front stretch there, but the inside line here prevails in turns 1 and 2. As you can see, the front 2 have already cleared themselves. That's the 9 of Spurley and the 00 of Kukulon.
Sprode trying to keep the races. The race down the back straight, still trying to get the full song with the plates on these race cars. It takes a little bit to get going. Kukulon trying to clear himself with that 3 wide as Minnick goes to the middle. Down low, Landon Dinkins. Kukulon comes down in second behind pole sitter Riley Sprode, who's going to come off turn 4 and lead the first lap here at Daytona. Here come 2 Roush boys, Landon Dinkins and Michael Gregory. Just behind them another teammate, the 17 of Jake Richardson. Down the front stretch for the first time at full speed. Lap 1 led by the 9 of Riley Sprode from pole position. Kukulon right behind in second, Landon Dinkins in third, Michael Gregory in fourth. Kukulon breaks low. His help is going to be in the forms of the 60 of Michael Gregory inside lane. To the bottom, it's 2 cars versus 2 up top. Jake Gowie joins the bottom as well in the 20 car. Those 5 try to break away from the 3x3 back behind the race off turn number 2. First time at full speed.
Yeah, as you were saying there, these front 5, I don't think it'll last too long, but they kind of broke themselves away a little bit as the guys behind them there were 3 wide. But as you can see now, they kind of settled down the 3 wide and everyone else is catching them. But Kukulon here is going to go from the top to the bottom now, trying to block Jake Galloway coming onto the front stretch. Has a little bit of a lead there, but I think Jake's going to get the run and possibly make a move, maybe entering 1.
As Kukulon went up to block, Spurs around, they're going to go mid-pack. Jake Richardson involved. It's going to be a massive crash. That happened at the front of the field. Richardson up against the wall. Code Red into him in this 29. Those two come off the wall. Jennifer Beeford gets clipped. Anthony Hernandez. The rest of the field, Samsung brakes not get much damage. The yellow flag is out early on at Daytona. First caution flag on the Samsung 250. Our leaders did take it, especially Kukulon off the race lead. Jake Gowey in second, Jose Mills in third. An early accident here at the Daytona International Speedway brings a halt to the action as Jake Richardson gets spun around mid-pack, collects Code Red, and maybe some others with some slight damage. Caution flag in the air. We'll go see what caused it. Racing off turn number 4, Jake Richardson right in front of the 92 of Landon Lyons. And as they battle off turn number 4, Richardson's going to start to come up and try to block the 29 of Code Red. But Code Red gets the run now. He tries to get back low in front of Lyons. But Lyons does not lift out of the gas to let him in line. Red and Richardson make contact into the wall. Landon Lyons gets pretty heavy duty damage on the 92. Alex Turner gets clipped but saves it. Zachary Fitzwater to go into the grass. Otherwise, a lot of drivers did a great job either getting low or slamming on the brakes on the outside. Drivers like Eric Olson, Eli Bright, Jennifer Beeford, Nanico, Teague, Trey Rennie, Smith, Pointer, Luke Rainey, Colt. I mean, there were so many cars back behind it that could have just piled into the crash, but they all did a great job slamming on brakes. And really, the only one after the crash was done was Anthony Hernandez that got damaged, and it looks like maybe the 40th Brett Serra as well gets some front end damage. So not many drivers get much damage. Some are going to have some slight damage, but otherwise, pretty clean of a crash that since occurred inside the top 20.
Yeah, I mean, considering this was up near the front of the pack or so, you would expect, 10, 12, 15 cars to be involved. But here it was only maybe like a handful, maybe 5 or so. And most of them don't even have that big damage, So, I mean, good job by these guys to get it slowed down and move out of the way. And they're all still in contention for this thing.
Caution flag in the air for the first time at Daytona. Sebastian Kukulon, the 00, currently out in front, leading the Samsung 250, race number 13. He's won this race before, looking to do it again in the 00 car. Coming back green here in the Samsung 250, Daytona clean up the first accident, coming green with 11 laps of racing to go. It is currently Sebastian Kukulon out in front. Every car is still left running, some with damage at the back of the field without hoods. The 92 and the 48, the big ones of that, Brett Serra and Landon Lyons. Some others at the back of the field may have some slight damage. We'll see how they get going in this restart, especially drivers like the 17 that were spun around mid-pack do have some damage, but they'll restart mid-pack. It's going to be very interesting to see how this restart goes. Currently at the front, Sebastian Kukulon, Jake Gowey, the 40 of Mills, the 09 of Brian Price, and ranking at the top 5, Keyshawn Richardson. We are back in a great restart for Kukulon to get away from the battle for a second as Mills also got a good jump on Gowey. He'll look inside lane at turn number 1, side by side for that second position. Gowey did not get a good restart at all from second position.
No, it does not look like Galloway's car went off the right way there, but he has help coming behind him with Brian Price there on the top side, so hopefully they'll be able to get his car going here quickly as Kukulon is still leading this thing with Jose Mills right behind him there as they're on the top side, and Keyshawn Richardson's the one leading the line on the bottom. Actually, Jose Mills is now going to drop down in front of Keyshawn to make a move.
Yeah, that good of a restart for Sebastian Kukulon actually hurt him. He got too far out in front, and you get too far in front at Daytona, they can swallow you up because of the draft. Mills just did that to the 00 of Kukulon, and it's now Jose Mills out in front, coming around to 10 laps of racing to go. Keyshawn Richardson forced middle of 3 to the inside for a second. It is the pole winner, Riley Spurley, to make big moves. We know that car is fast. After it sat on pole, he's showing the strength of the 9 car. Inside, 3 wide to second. Mills comes down to cover the spot off the 9 car as those two try to break away from the field. Danny Lloyd 3 wide to get to third. Landon Dinkins and Alex Fletcher also with them as last car in this leaf draft. Currently, the 22 of Levi Jones. The rest have been caught up due to some slower cars that were damaged. Up front, Spurley to low on the 40 of Mills, side by side for the top spot.
Yeah, it's interesting to see who here, 2 packs here. I think it was might have been Jake Richardson there, started mid-pack and wasn't able to get going with the damage he had. So, it stacked those guys up behind him. So we'll have to see if they're able to catch him before the end of this thing. But at the moment here, it seems like Riley Spurley here is having a very good card here today. He's able to block. He went up high to block the 6. Now he's back down low to block the 42 here. We'll see if he drops down low before the 41 of Fletcher gets there.
Fletcher with a nice run, gets to the inside. The push from Jay Jefferson propelled him inside of pole sitter Riley Spurley tube. Alex Fletcher currently out front, the 41 car. Jay Jefferson follows through to second in the 1. Zachary Fitzwater Sr., the 59, down low with Jay. But now, as Jefferson moves aside, Fitzwater moves to the inside, the 59 car. That might be 3 wide for the top spot. Can the push from Jeff Bright get beneath? It will. 3 wide to the bottom for Zachary Fitzwater Sr. He's going to be out in front here in Daytona. as he comes in third in the point standings, and with Luke Green on a great day, it could be his to try and take at the end of the night. As Fitzwater moves up, Jeff Bright moves to the bottom. They'll be side by side to the 7th lap here at Daytona. It'll be Zach Fitzwater Sr. on the outside to do it. Jeff Bright, DJ Reed next on the inside, trying to fill the hole inside that 59.
Yeah, as you can see here, Fitzwater there, still on the outside. Looks like he has a nice car to be on the outside, but again, the inside lane is where you want to be here, as they're now 3 by 3 by 3 throughout this entire pack, except for Jeff Bright there up front. Now, this is the question, is where Jeff Bright's going to block. Looks like he's going to try to block high with Mathis Wells still down below there. So we'll have to see, as it looks like he got to the inside of Jeff Bright.
And DeLello's going to take it 3 wide in the 24 car. Has the push from Sebastian Dupain. 23, Max Anderson also on the bottom. That inside, really the place to be. You have to try and protect it at all costs, as now with this 3x3, it starts to get cycle racing. Drivers going to start moving aside to the top. Bottom lane's going to get moving, and they'll be 2 and 3 wide basically all race long, and unless we catch some lap traffic, which could really impact the end of this race like we saw at Talladega and at Pensacola. With 7 laps to go, Sebastian Dupain leads at the stripe. It was DeLello to lead the lap. Dupain leads to turn 1, but now a challenger, Max Anderson and Justin Zeidel, move low. Levi Schoens also comes in top 5 in points just like Fitzwater. He's also up in this pack, currently 3rd on the inside groove as they race their way down the backstretch. There is lap traffic ahead, coming around to 6 laps of racing to go. That could be a factor if no yellow flag comes out before the end of this race.
Yeah, as you were saying, the lap traffic I did see there ahead. I wasn't quite sure what car that was, but you know, as you said here before, 2 super speed races. Wow, I can't speak today. 2 super speedway races before this one. Lap traffic has been the deciding factor here, so we'll have to see if these guys have learned from their mistakes, or you know, we see a three-peat of what happened before.
You might be a little nervous because of that lap traffic. We've seen what it does before, and it's horrible on this field. It really can separate the field out. Max Anderson's going to want to keep this race lead. He has such a huge gap over 2nd place back behind him. If he can keep this gap, once he catches lap traffic, he can go wherever he wants to. He can go top, bottom, whichever lane is going to be clear, he can move there. So if he can keep this gap over the pack behind him, which Levi Schoens moves aside, Reed to his inside the 99, looks for a 2nd now. Coming around to 5 to go. Schoens going to clear for a 2nd. He also wants to stay clear as well, because catching this lap traffic, you want to be away from the pack. You don't want to be forced into a lane that you don't want to be in. If you maybe are forced high sign, the lap car goes high. If you're forced inside, the lap car goes low. If you're clear, you can have free range of the land. You go wherever you want to go. So we're now with 5 laps of racing to go. Max Anderson, Levi Schoens, but now DJ Reed inside for a 2nd. Behind, here comes the 89, moving low. That is Robin Fenway. That green number 89 has Michael Gregory, the 60 back behind him. Sebastian Kukulon coming back to the front. Jake Gow and others trying to get forward as they catch lap traffic. It is Madison Tall and Jake Richardson, the 2 drivers we're going to catch. Tall looks like maybe she had an issue and had to come down pit road, because she looks fine. She's going 183. That is a very good pace for not having draft. That's only 8 miles an hour off the pace. I believe that's just slow due to not having draft. However, Jake Richardson is slow due to damage. He's going to be the one we have to worry about to cause some sort of incident in this pack.
Yeah, as you can see there now, they're actually 2 wide lap traffic there. So if they're 2 wide, whenever we catch them with this lead pack here, it'll be interesting to see. As it looks like we're going to catch them going into 1 as Anderson dives low of Jake Richardson, but Jake Richardson's going to hold up the entire top line there. That is not good, as they're going to close call there with the 60. What are they doing?
And you know what's bad about that? He just hit 2 of his teammates. He blocked Michael Gregory and then ran Mathis Wells into the apron. I mean, that's Roush not working together right there. And I don't think Gregory's too happy. He might start to try and turn him if Jake Richardson doesn't get out of the way. He really halted 2 of his teammates right there, put Wells into the apron, and just blocked Michael Gregory all the way into turn number 1. Now that 2nd pack has joined. Now it's 1 mega pack back behind the race leaders. That could also cause an accident with how the big closing rate. We'll go back up to the front as that's tried to sort its way out. At the front, Madison Tall, she's not the race leader. She, remember, is on maybe the tail end of 1 lap down. She had some sort of issue on the 47. Now she's back up to pace because she has draft. So she is not slower, but she can still play an effect on the outcome of this race with 3 laps to go. We'll have 1 final lap car of Landon Lyons. Tall's going to look around the outside of the 47. We'll see who this 92 holds up and who gets around. It's going to be Jake Gow on the outside to get by with the race lead. Spurred to another, trying to get high. Lyons kind of shifts lanes, and Kukulon's going to get halted.
Yeah, these guys are trying to figure out their way around the lap cars again here. It is now down to maybe ooh, that was a close call there with Kukulon and Fenway as well there. But, you know, as I was saying, maybe it's down to a 3, 4, 5 car pack here up front, more with Jake Galloway, Spurley, and the 3 of them behind there. So we'll have to see if these guys can catch up before the end of this race, or if it's just going to be down to these two drivers.
And with 2 laps to go, the big thing for Jake Gowey is that he has draft in front of him. You know, normally we would say you're out front like that, you don't have any draft, but he's drafting off that 47 in front. Riley Sprague also getting the draft off the 20 of Jake Gowey. So now they're coming up onto this 47, who's coming up onto the 48 Brett Sierra, which is going to be one final lap car in this race. Who's going to try and pull the lead? Right there, the 2 lead lap cars. Spurgeon's going to try and force Jake Gowey into a pick with the 48th Brett Sierra. Now this is helping that pack behind with Max Aronson, Matthew Wells, and Taylor Bryan Price. There's such a huge hole in the air. Spurgeon around the inside. He's through. Gowey going to try and get down in front of the pack. Can they run Riley Spurgeon down in 2.5 miles? Do they have enough time and speed to get there? We're coming to the white flag. They have the draft, but the 9 has a nice gap.
Yeah, that is a very big gap there for the 9 of Riley Spurley, but I mean, if these guys behind him can stay single file, they might be able to get there in time. But if they get racy for second place, I don't think they're going to be able to catch in time. As you can see here, Anderson's going to dive below Jake Galloway here. I don't think that's what you guys want to do here if you want to try to get this victory.
They need to stay single file right there, even though they are going faster. They need to go a lot more faster than that 9 car if they want a shot to win. Max Anderson up to second, but has a good ways to catch Riley Spurgeon. He's in the draft, going about 5-6 miles an hour faster. But I don't think it's going to be enough, so they race their way up the super stretch for the final time here at Daytona. Riley Spurgeon, our pole leader, in control. Max Anderson, Taylor Bryan Price right now second and third, gaining in the draft 6-7 miles an hour faster. They race off turn number 4 for the final time. They're closing in. Anderson's going to go wide, trying to get around the outside of the 9 car with a run to the inside. The 09 Taylor Bryan Price back to the checker flag. Riley Spurgeon blocks off the 23 and the 09 to win at Daytona. And the Samsung 250, once again driven by lap traffic. Riley Spurgeon gets it done from pole position after lap traffic came into play there at the end.
Yeah, it's like I said, it was a three-peat of what we saw the 2 races before this. Lap traffic, they're very unpredictable, and you know, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be a very big factor here in these super speedway races on who gets the victory.
And for Riley Spurgeon, he just picked up his 2nd victory of the season. First one came at Texas in that photo finish. He gets his 2nd one, and very big towards his chase chances. He's now the 2nd driver with multiple victories in the Target Series season number 11. Let's go see the finishing results and the updated point standings. Here's how they finished in the final Superspeedway Swing race of the season, the Samsung 250 here at Daytona. An early caution flag for 2 laps really shook up the end of this race. And 8 lead changes, 7 different drivers out front today in Daytona. And it is Riley Spurgeon from pole position, reigning supreme, winning the Samsung 250 after leading the most laps of 4. Finishing in second, started 40th, Max Anderson led 3 laps, but gets 2nd position. Was so close there to get to the 9 at the end, but just could not find a way around after catching him. Taylor Bryan Price, the one who pushed the 23 up there, he gets 3rd. Zachary Couture Sr. takes over the points lead with a 4th place result here tonight, and Roman Fenway runs at the top 5 in the 89. Sebastian Kukulon, Jake Galloway, Matthew Wells, Alex Fletcher, and Landon Dinkins round out the top 10 finishing order. Michael Gregory, Jeff Bright, Jay Jefferson, DeLello Minnick, Reed, McDowell, Mills, Hunter, and Lloyd finish out the top 20 finishers. As we look down, Keyshawn Richardson and Colin Teague, there is Luke Rennie. Came in as the points leader, but will leave 2nd after a 23rd place result here tonight. Tommy Fletcher Jr., Levi Jones, Eric Olson, Trey Rainey, Mason Basker, Sebastian Dupain, and Code Red the top 30. Turner, Zidell, Eli Bright, Yo Smith, Nanico, Jennifer Buford, Hernandez Tall, Sierra, Lyons, Richardson, all at the back of this field. Tall, Sierra, Lyons, and Richardson all 1 lap down. 3 of them were really the lap traffic that we caught were slower. Sierra had damaged Lyons and Richardson as well. It was Madison Tall who was really the good lap car. She was up to pace, and she didn't really hold anyone up. She was just kind of up there at the end of the race. Let's now go see the point standings. 13 races in. We're getting close to chase time.
After race 13 here at Daytona International Speedway, the points are looking a little different here with our new points leader, the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater. A very good day there for him, finishing, I believe he was 4th or 5th there, so good job for him. And then 2nd place there, Luke Rennie, doesn't have the day he won here at Daytona, but it's not like he won't be able to bounce back from this. He's still one of the top favorites to win this championship this year. Followed by the 42 of Minnick there, the 16 of Wells, rounding out the top 5 in points is the 1 of Jay Jefferson. And 6 is the 6 of Landon Dinkins, followed by the 22 of Shones, dropped down about 4 spots there after Daytona, followed by the 24 of Zachary DeLello, the 40 of Jose Mills, and rounding out the top 10 in points is the 9 of Riley Spurley, your winner here. 11th is the 2 of Colin Teague, followed by the 23 of Anderson, the 92 of Lyons, the 21 of Hernandez, the 29 of Code Red, 18 of Buford, the 00 of Sebastian Kukulon, the 99 of DJ Reed, 64 of Evan Hunter, and rounding out your top 20 in points is the 30 of Justin Zidell.
That was a big win for Riley Sprague to be came in on the cut line to make it into the wild card spot. Now with 2 victories, that makes your rest a little bit easier. As long as you stay inside the top 20, you have a very good chance of getting it with multiple victories. Same story for Landon Lyons, who currently has the first wild card spot with those 2 victories. Second wild card spot goes to DJ Reed all the way down 18th in points, but there's only 2 winners from 11th to 20th in points. There right now, the 2 wild card spots. You look down and see a lot more winners down here. Sebastian Dupain right now 21st, and McDowell 27th. Fletcher in 31st, Jeff Bright down in 40th. These are all winners this season, and right now Jeff Bright really maybe almost out of contention to try and get that wildcard spot. Alex Fletcher, Adam McDowell, and Sebastian Dupain definitely have a chance to get up there inside the top 20, especially Dupain, only 21 points outside of the top 20. And look down the bottom, it's still Danny Lloyd and Trey Rainey. Trey is a full 108 points behind his nearest competitor, 41st in points. It's not been a great season for Trey Rainey for sure in his final Target Series season. I think Chase is out the window now. It's just going to be for wins the rest of this season. As we're nearing the midway point of the season, we look forward to go road course racing as we head to Road America for the Speedco 200. We will see you guys then.